Hey there, true crime enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into some of the most intriguing and mysterious cases. Today, we have a chilling story that has baffled investigators for years. The case of the Long Island Killer. Brace yourselves as we explore the unsettling details, the victims, and the hunt for justice in this unsolved mystery. Our story begins on a serene Long Island, known for its picturesque landscapes and peaceful communities. But beneath this tranquil facade, a sinister presence lurked. In 2010, a series of murders sent shockwaves through the area. The Long Island Killer, also known as the Gilgo Beach Killer, targeted vulnerable women, mostly sex workers, along a desolate stretch of Ocean Parkway. These victims, trapped in a dangerous world, had no idea they were walking into a deadly trap. Let's take a moment to remember the victims, vibrant individuals whose lives were tragically cut short. Among the victims were Melissa Barthelemy, Maureen Brainard Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello, just to name a few. Their stories deserve to be heard, their lives honored. Melissa Barthelemy was a 24-year-old woman who dreamed of becoming a professional dancer. She disappeared in 2009, and her remains were found in 2010. Maureen Brainard Barnes, a 25-year-old mother, was known for her caring nature. Megan Waterman, a 22-year-old woman, left behind a young daughter. Amber Lynn Costello was a 27-year-old woman who had aspirations of starting her own business. Each of these victims had hopes, dreams, and loved ones who continue to mourn their loss. Now, let's explore how this cunning killer managed to evade capture for so long. With each new victim, the stakes grew higher, and the search for answers intensified. The Long Island Killer displayed a chilling ability to remain undetected, leaving behind little evidence and misleading the authorities at every turn. The killer's choice of targeting sex workers added another layer of complexity to the investigation, as these individuals often lived transient lives and were less likely to be reported missing. The killer utilized various methods to carry out their crimes and dispose of the victims. Some bodies were found wrapped in burlap sacks, indicating a deliberate attempt to conceal their identities. The discovery of these shallow graves along Ocean Parkway created a chilling tableau of horror, leaving investigators with a daunting task of piecing together the puzzle. Law enforcement agencies dedicated countless resources to bring justice to the victims and their families. The investigation faced numerous challenges, including false leads and potential suspects. The case prompted a nationwide manhunt, with law enforcement agencies from different jurisdictions collaborating to solve the mystery. Early in the investigation, a prominent doctor named Dr. Peter Hackett was considered a person of interest due to his connection to some of the victims. Dr. Peter Hackett, a former resident of Oak Beach, Long Island, came under scrutiny when it was discovered that he had made calls to some of the victims prior to their disappearances. He had hired escort services and had interactions with Melissa Barthelemy and Megan Waterman, two of the victims associated with the Long Island Killer. However, despite these connections, Dr. Hackett maintained his innocence and cooperated with the investigation. In addition to Dr. Hackett, several other individuals came under suspicion during the investigation. Detectives explored leads and conducted thorough background checks on individuals connected to the victims or who had been in the vicinity of the crime scenes. However, no conclusive evidence was found linking any specific person to the Long Island Killer. The lack of concrete evidence and the possibility of the killer operating under an alias made it difficult to pinpoint a single suspect. The Long Island Killer possessed a remarkable ability to conceal their identity and mislead investigators, leaving law enforcement agencies grappling with the question of who was responsible for these heinous crimes. The Long Island Killer's reign of terror has left an indelible mark on the community, and the field of criminal justice. It has shed light on the plight of sex workers, the importance of victim advocacy, and the need for improved investigative techniques. The victims of the Long Island Killer, like countless others, often faced marginalization and stigmatization due to their profession. Their tragic deaths have sparked discussions and raised awareness about the vulnerabilities faced by sex workers. Advocacy groups and organizations have emerged, fighting for their rights and pushing for reforms in legislation and law enforcement practices. The Long Island Killer case prompted law enforcement agencies to reevaluate their strategies and improve coordination across jurisdictions. The case highlighted the need for enhanced communication, data integration, and information sharing between agencies to prevent cases from falling through the cracks. Throughout the years, numerous theories and speculations have emerged, attempting to shed light on the identity of the Long Island Killer. Some believe the killer might have had insider knowledge of law enforcement operations, allowing them to elude capture. Others propose connections to other notorious unsolved cases, fueling speculation of a serial killer network. One theory suggests that the Long Island Killer may have had a background in law enforcement or a deep understanding of investigative techniques, allowing them to stay one step ahead of the authorities. Another theory explores the possibility of multiple killers operating in coordination, using the same dumping grounds to confuse investigators. Experts and armchair detectives continue to analyze the available evidence, poring over the details of the case in an attempt to uncover the truth. Online forums and dedicated communities have sprung up, where enthusiasts exchange ideas, theories, and possible connections, keeping the investigation alive in the public consciousness. The Long Island Killer case has also sparked a significant shift in the public's perception of sex workers and the need for their protection. Advocacy groups and organizations have rallied to raise awareness about the dangers faced by this vulnerable community and push for reforms in legislation and law enforcement practices. The victims of the Long Island Killer, as well as countless other victims of violence, deserve justice. Their stories serve as a reminder that every life is valuable, regardless of one's occupation or circumstances. It is our collective responsibility to advocate for their rights and support efforts to bring closure to their families. Though the case of the Long Island Killer remains unsolved, investigators have not given up. Technological advancements, such as improved DNA analysis techniques and data integration, offer hope for potential breakthroughs in the future. Law enforcement agencies continue to re-examine evidence, follow leads, and explore connections that could lead to the identification and apprehension of the Long Island Killer. The case remains open, and the pursuit of justice continues. One crucial aspect in solving cold cases like the Long Island Killer is the involvement of the public. As the case garners attention and reaches a wider audience, it increases the chances of someone coming forward with valuable information. It could be a witness who saw something suspicious or has a hunch, or even someone who unknowingly has a piece of the puzzle. If you have any information that could aid in the investigation, or if something about this case triggers a memory, please reach out to the dedicated law enforcement agencies. Your tip could be the missing link that finally brings justice to the victims and closure to their families. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the chilling case of the Long Island Killer. We hope that by shedding light on this unsolved mystery, we can keep the victims' memories alive and contribute to the ongoing efforts to bring justice to their families. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more captivating true crime content. Remember, by spreading awareness and supporting the efforts of law enforcement, we can contribute to solving cold cases like this one and bringing justice to those who need it most. Stay vigilant, and until next time, stay safe.